Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this episode of the Talk Sports Show on Thursday, September 14th, with host Alec Pecano. On today's show, I will be giving you my NFL locks of the week and my two upsets of the week for the NFL, as well as a few wide receivers to start in fantasy and a couple rookies and young guys to pick up and stash on your bench in fantasy football. And at the end of the show, I will be going over my memberships. So let's get started. My locks of the week. My first lock of the week is the Dallas Cowboys -9 versus the New York Jets. And I think the final score is going to be Dallas 39, the Jets 30, and I know what some people are going to say. The Jets aren't going to score that many points against Dallas due to Aaron Rodgers being out the rest of the season. I have faith that Zach Wilson can lead the Jets to a lot of scoring drives. I know the Cowboys defense put up over 30 fantasy points last week, but that was against the Giants. And give me a minute. Yes, I know what people are going to say. The Jets aren't going to score 30 points. I think they will, but it's going to be, like I said, in a losing effort. And I think the Cowboys cover the 9.5 for lock number 1 of the week. Lock number 2 of the week. And if you watched the show last week before I went on my trip, I said the Detroit Lions would upset the Kansas City Chiefs. And no one wanted to believe me. They were saying, oh, Alec, you're wrong. The Chiefs are going to blow out the Lions. Well, I guess that upset. And now, 1 week later, look who is on my lock of the week. It is the Detroit Lions -5 against the Seattle Seahawks. Yes, I know what everybody's going to say. The Seahawks are not in a pleasant mood right now because they just got dog whipped by the Rams. But I think the Lions will win this game, and it'll be 39-34. Now let's get to my upsets this week in the NFL. My first one is on Sunday night, and I think it's the Patriots. The Patriots +3. I think they upset the Miami Dolphins. And I'll tell you why. I liked what I saw from Mac Jones in the first game of the season, even though it was against Philadelphia, and Philadelphia supposedly supposed to have a good defense. And I know they only put up 20 points, but it looked like they could move the ball really well. And for me, that says a lot. They actually have an ops coordinator this year that's going to help them win games. Sorry, Matt Patricia, you were not an offensive coordinator. You were a defensive coordinator that tried to be an offensive coordinator for a year. Didn't work. So, but I think the Patriots will pull the upset. My next upset of the week for week 2 is the Los Angeles Chargers, +3. I think they win their game this week. They got beat by the Dolphins last week by 2 points. I think they bounce back and they pull the upset and win. Now on to a segment that I don't know if a lot of other YouTubers do when they're talking about the NFL, but for week 1, here's my NFL stud team of the week. That is the Miami Dolphins. I know I gave them a lot of slack in the offseason. Don't have them finishing high. They looked pretty dadgum good in week 1. If you're going to tell me that I had no idea Tyreek Hill was going to go for over 200 yards and a touchdown. Tua, if he can stay healthy, the Dolphins can go to the playoffs if Tua stays healthy the whole year. And that defense, I know they gave up 34 points, but when they get Jalen Ramsey back, they've got one of the best cornerback duos. And like I said, I know I give them slack. And I know I shouldn't, but I do. On to my next segment. My NFL dud team of the week from week 1. I'm sorry, Giants fans. Y'all should be embarrassed. You didn't even score a single point against the Cowboys. Don't give me the baloney of, the Cowboys have a good defense. Yes, they do. But that doesn't mean you score 0 points the entire game. Hopefully you can turn it around this week. If you don't, you may be back on this list next week. But I do like the addition of Darren Waller. I know he's been on the injury report, off the injury report. But I think the Giants are going to do good things this year. I know they're my dud team of the week this week, but that doesn't matter. Here's my fantasy football advice for week number 2. Some starts and sleepers. Here is 3 wide receivers I would start this week. Number 1, Thursday night football. Vikings and Eagles. If you have either Devontae Smith or Jordan Addison, I would start both of them because the number 1 of both teams is going to be shadowed by the top cornerback. From the cornerback wide receiver reports that I've read. The number 2 tandem I would start is the Buccaneers wide receivers of Chris Godwin and Mike Evans versus the Bears. The Bears DBs got shredded in week 1 by Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed, and Luke Musgrave. I would start Godwin and Evans with confidence this week against the Bears. And my last start of the week for the week 2 of the NFL is Robert Bobby Trees Woods versus the Colts. Robert Woods was heavily involved in the passing game in week 1. And I think the same can hold true in week number 2 for him. And if he's available in your league, I would think about picking him up. And here's my sleeper wide receivers to pick up / stash for week 2 and beyond. I have 3 rookies on here. Number 3, Josh Downs, Indianapolis Colts. He was another guy that was somewhat involved in the pass. He was involved in the passing offense for the Colts. He had, I believe, 4 targets. They were down the field targets. Michael Pitt. I will give you a bonus guy to trade for at the end of this segment. But back to this. If Josh Downs is available in your league, I would think about picking him up, and stashing him on your bench. The number 2 guy I'm going to talk about. He is going to be thrusted in to a starting role this week, with the Texans placing Noah Brown on injured reserve. Rookie Nathaniel Tank Dell, wide receiver, Houston Texans. I think Tank Dell might have a big game against Indianapolis. Indianapolis' secondary is horridly awful. Look what Calvin Ridley went for 100 yards against them in week 1. I know that's a stiff comparison. Tank Dell's only a rookie, but I see big things for him. And my number 1 stash / pickup is rookie Buccaneers wide receiver Trey Palmer. He had 2 catches for 8 yards and a TD in week 1. I think as the season goes on, they're going to get him more and more involved in the offense, because I think Mike Evans is gone after this year. And the guy I would trade for, if there's fantasy managers out there that are panicking about the Bengals offense, I would see if you could put an offer in for Jamar Chase or a T. Higgins. It's going to take a steep price tag to get either, because the fantasy manager that has them, they're not going to just give them up for cheap. They're going to want something for Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. That's why I'm saying send your fillers out, see who in your league has one of them. If one of them has, say for example, one of your league mates has both of them, because you play in a 3 wide receiver league where you can start 3 wide receivers, I would try to package both of them with a guy like maybe Austin Eckler, and see if you can get a combination of Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and maybe a top running back from that team, and see how that works. And I would hold, if you have any rookie quarterbacks, I would hold. I would not get rid of him yet. Anthony Richardson had a good week 1. Stroud threw for over 100 yards in week 1. I would, any rookie QB, hold on to them. Unless you got a manager in your league that had Aaron Rodgers. Then I would see if that manager wants, because they don't want to use Zach Wilson, I would see if they want to trade with you and get one of your quarterbacks. And now I will be going over my memberships. The Talk Sports opener level membership is 99 cents a month. The starter level membership for Talk Sports is $2.99 a month. The Talk Sports premium level membership is $9.99 a month. And the Talk Sports expert level membership, the most expensive one, is $14.99 a month. And now I'm going to show you how you become a member. Let me share my screen. So you see this little white join button right here? You click on that, and
Hello, ladies.
it takes you to the memberships. There's, like I said, there's four. There's four different slots. There's the opener level, the starter level, the premium, and the expert level. You can, and there is perks with every membership. You can look at the perks, and once you click on it, and this is my homepage, I do offer membership merchandise as well. If you would like some merch, it is on my site. It is on my homepage of my. You just slide, you click the tabs, and it should say store. You can please buy some merch. It would help me greatly. And also, please, if you would like, purchase a membership. Now on to some more somber news. Former Buccaneers and Bills wide receiver Mike Williams has passed away at the age of 36, and I knew his mom and cousin. My condolences go out to them and the whole Williams family. Please keep them in your thoughts and prayers as they're going through tough times right now with losing Mike. Now on to some injury news. Steelers have already said that Deontay Johnson will be out a few weeks with his hamstring injury. The Broncos have already ruled out tight end Greg Dulcich for the next few weeks. So if you had Greg Dulcich, go add Kate Otten, Chigakonkwo, or Darnell Washington from the Steelers. Because if Firemout's out, I think Darnell Washington gets more playing time. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That will do it for today's stream. I will be back at 3 o'clock with college football power rankings and over-unders for week 3 of college football. Have a great rest of your morning. Thanks. Bye.